Once again, Matt Meany, somehow or another, knows a lot more about Bill O'Reilly than we think he does. Like, you don't realize that Bill O'Reilly is a huge Spandau Ballet. I mean, huge. I'm not sure that's true. Oh, that's the name of the song, True. And we didn't get a lot of that yesterday with Michael Cohen. Hey, Bill O'Reilly's new column is out. BillO'Reilly.com is an unbelievable place to go. Whether Bill's doing his television show, interviewing people, writing his daily columns, weekly columns, The Woke Nightmare, which he makes a promise at the end of The Woke Nightmare. We'll get back to this at the end of our conversation. And I want him to tell us how he can make that promise. What's his guarantee? It's an amazing website, and he's great here, too, each and every Thursday. He's the best ever. He's our good friend, Bill O'Reilly. Welcome back, Bill. Good morning.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, I want the truth to be said, you know?
You do love Spandau Ballet, don't you?
I wouldn't say love.
Right, that's a stretch.
You know. But
dancing right
I
now?
think that has some good tunes.
Well, let's get talking about the truth. There's Michael Cohen yesterday. I don't know. It was entertaining at times. Some of the barbs, the back and forth with the politicians, Bill, was entertaining. But did you learn anything yesterday? Did you come away with something that you thought maybe wasn't going to be the case 2 days ago?
No. I didn't learn anything.
Not a damn thing.
Look, in all of these things, you have to step back and you have to see a bigger picture. If you really want the truth to be said, and we'll have that theme throughout this interview. So what Michael Cohen is doing is what every lawyer does when you walk in and hire that person to represent you in a lawsuit against another human being. So you walk in, you hire lawyers, I want to see this person for whatever, whether it be divorce or some kind of wrong the person did you, whatever. So the lawyer sits down and starts to take notes and then crafts a complaint. And in the complaint, there's everything in the world, okay, that you committed a homicide 5 years ago, that, you know, they just throw everything in to intimidate the person that they're trying to sue. So that's what Cohen did. Cohen showed up in a very coordinated way with the Democratic senators and the House of Representatives people, very coordinated, and said, I'm going to accuse President Trump of the following, and here's the list. We got 30 things. And then you ask this question, and Ocasio-Cortez asks that question, and we'll get to all of them in the 9 hours. And cumulatively, we'll give CNN and MSNBC, the New York Times, and Washington Post all of these headlines, and they can pick and choose what they want. So that's what happened. It was basically firing stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks.
Exactly right, Bill. And what happens, too, and this is how it damages the president. Excuse me, even though there's no evidence of he couldn't back up any collusion, blackmail, obstruction of justice, none of that. But they play the clips where he says, Donald Trump is a racist, a con man, and a cheat. Right. And then forget the national media, the local news media people play it all throughout the country. And the morons that watch it nod their heads and they say, yeah, I know it. See, I told you, Trump's lawyer. And they don't mention the fact that he was convicted of perjury. He's going to jail, none of that stuff. And they just further the narrative that this president is a racist lowlife. And so in that sense, it hurts him.
I don't know about that. I think the folks have had enough. My son turned to me this morning and goes, how can you watch this? He's not a political guy. He's going to lacrosse practice. I think the people are getting the fact that this is a vengeance play, that Michael Cohen wants vengeance. He feels betrayed. He's going to prison. He doesn't think what he did was his fault. He thinks he was ordered to do it and, you know, whatever. So, you know, it's almost numbing. It's almost like the president and his administration have flu shots given to them by Michael Cohen and the media. So I'm not so sure that people feel today any different than they felt yesterday.
I think you're right. Trump. I think you made that point in the woke nightmare that people they're getting wise to this. I think one thing that did backfire, though, on the Democrats' bill was if they thought that Michael would lend to their Russia collusion story, well, he basically shot the dossier down when he said that he was never in Prague, which, by the way, Sean Hannity says is true because he knows exactly where he was. He also talks about Trump did not make him lie to Congress in 2017, and he did say that he does not believe there was any Russian collusion. So in that respect, Bill, if they were hoping for that, then that was a loss for the Democrats yesterday.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't mean anything because the Mueller report will state what it states. And nobody will even remember what Michael Cohen said a week from now if the Mueller report comes out next week. Because that'll be the authoritative document about what Donald Trump did or did not do. Now, I'm not saying what Mueller is going to allege is true. You got to prove it. And if we the people don't get the whole document and we don't get the backup, then it becomes a situation where if you hate Trump, you believe it. If you like Trump, you don't believe it. So with Cohen, we have another day today. It'll give cable, another couple of days to rant and rave, jump up and down. You know what? It's almost a cartoon. So yeah. Who do they trot out as a John Dean comes out? Oh, this is worse than Watergate. Click. Is there anything else on? Click. Is SpongeBob on? Click.
By the way, the answer is no. They preempt the programming on the broadcast networks for this stuff.
Look, you're right, and I've made this point with you guys, that the 6 media companies that control 90% of the information in this country all want Trump out.
Yep, no doubt. I don't know why, though.
If it's bad about Trump, then they're going to put it out. But I think Americans you're not going to see Trump's poll numbers drop.
No. Sid alluded to this, BillO'Reilly.com, the woke nightmare, the column you wrote, brilliant column. Now, of course, you have the lunatic New Green Deal, open borders, Medicare for all, but this got short shrift in the media. The Republicans put forward a bill, the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Act. And the Democrats, for the most part, all voted against it, including the 6 senators who are running for president, voted against the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Act. How do you vote against something like that?
Well, they were told to do that.
Really?
They were ordered to do it by Schumer. So that's why they did it. They don't care one way or the other about whether a baby is resuscitated after a botched abortion. I mean, it's not what these people care about, but they were ordered to do it. 3 didn't. 3 Democrats said no. I mean, this is absurd. But everybody knew that bill wasn't going to get anywhere because, the House under Pelosi would never pass it. And it's all about, our friends in Planned Parenthood and on the far left, they want abortion and infanticide. They believe that's morally right. I mean, it's incredible, but that's what they believe. So we're not going to go up against them because that's the big fundraiser for us, and it's a big constituency for us. So Schumer said, no, just don't do that, and they went along as they always do.
The polls show that most Americans hate this stuff.
Sure, they got hurt doing it.
Yeah, well, that's what Bill's point. In fact, we're going to wrap up the conversation with this, the end of your column, The Woke Nightmare. You start off by talking about how the media loves Colin Kaepernick. Bill, you're 1,000% right. And you talk about this progressive movement led by this psycho Cortez here in Queens, who helped shoot down the Amazon deal. It was funny to watch her go back and forth with Cohen yesterday, talk about a Mensa meeting. But you talk about how the progressive left is going to be a group that's going to come together one day and expose them and defeat them. You say it's just a matter of time.
Yeah. I really believe that most Americans are going to recoil when they finally wake up from their Rip Van Winkle trance and see what these people really want, what their agenda really is. And the media glorifies. You say Cortez a psycho. I see her as Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, really?
That's the way I see her. She wants to be a star.
Yeah.
Okay? She doesn't have any historical background or any context of what she believes. She's been handed a playbook. She's being handled, with the quotes around handled, told what to do and say. And the media thinks she's photogenic and has made her a star. And she loves it. She loves it. But the American people, when they finally figure out and start paying attention to what all this is, that your life is going to change drastically, your life is going to change drastically if these people get in, these woke people, if they get power. Then they're going to say no. No, this isn't a bad country. I like my life in America. I don't want my property seized. I don't want no due process. And that's what's going to happen, but it's going to take a really strong leader on the other side to expose this woke fascism.
I want my car. I want my cheeseburger, for God's sakes.
Right.
Don't take it away from me.
Once you start to say, we're going to take all your stuff when you die, and the urchins aren't going to get anything, and we're going to drain you of all your take-home pay in return for some phantom promise of education and health care that you can't even choose your physician, people are going to go no. But again, we don't have that leadership yet to make those points. I want everybody to read my column on BillO'Reilly.com. Just read it. It's not hard, or have someone read it to you. All right?
Yeah, it's called The Woke Nightmare at BillO'Reilly.com.
This is what is coming.
Yes.
But there will be pushback to it, I hope.
Bill O'Reilly is a modern-day Paul Revere, and that is what's coming. So pay attention, folks. The Woke Nightmare, BillO'Reilly.com. We love you, Bill. Thank you.
All right, guys. Enjoyed it.
Thank
Talk
you.
soon.
Great
Bye.
job as always, Bill. Thank you so much. Bill's a very bright guy, maybe the brightest guy we talk to. But next, Jilly does her weekly feature where she goes to the streets of New York City.
That's the spectrum right there.
Well, there it is. So take Jill on the street talking about the same topics. It's hilarious. We'll come in right back.
No, we meant the people.
Bernie and Sid in the morning.